Shalom, 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 shalom. We thank God. We give God all the glory. We exalt His name. We lift His name. We praise His name because of His faithfulness. Today I want us to learn something that I would say God has a character of hiding Himself in human beings. And many times we may be looking for where will you, God, come? Where will our answers come? And we may be asking, where is our breakthrough? But everything that we need from God is hidden with somebody here on earth. The only thing is that when we follow the principles of God, we are able to tap into that which God has purposed for us. We are able, when we obey God, we are able to connect to that blessing that we are desiring, to that blessing that we really need it in our lives, to that blessing, to that connection, to that door, that open door. Because God has hidden every blessing in your life, has been hidden to somebody. It has somebody. It is connected to somebody. It stands out with somebody. Somebody is connected to your blessing. The blessings of God in your life are connected to somebody. And I want us to look at the scriptures in the book of 1 Kings chapter number 17. And the first verses from verse number 1 to verse number 7 is where Elijah is sent by God after the victory. In 1 Kings chapter number 16, where fire came, he reigned. And God in chapter 17, in the verses, he brings an issue where he sends him to a brook, and he'll be sending a crow, a raven, to feed him. And after that, God was showing him that I can use anything to meet your needs. And he first used the raven, and he fed him. Then in verse 8, he speaks. Then the Lord said to Elijah, go and live in a village of Zarephath, near the city of Sidon. I have instructed a widow there to feed you. So he went to Zarephath. As he arrived at the gates of the village, he saw a widow gathering sticks, and he asked her, would you please bring me a little water in a cup? As she was going to get it, he called to her, bring me a bite of bread. But she said, I swear by the Lord your God that I don't have a single piece of bread in my house, and I have only a handful of flour left in the jar, a little cooking oil in the bottom of the jar, and I was just gathering a few sticks to cook this last meal, and then my son and I will die. But Elijah said to her, don't be afraid. Go ahead and do just what you have said. But make a little bread for me. Then use what's left to prepare a meal for yourself and your son. For this is what the Lord God of Israel says. There will always be flour and oil left in your container until the time when the Lord sends rain and the crops grow again. So she did as Elijah said, and she and Elijah and her family continued to eat for many days. There was always enough flour and oil left in the container, just as the Lord had promised through Elijah. So we look at God wanting to meet a need of the widow, but he is using somebody. Many times, God will want to meet our needs, but he will use a need of somebody else to meet our needs. Take an example, the story of the dream of the Pharaoh. Pharaoh dreams. He needs an interpreter. Joseph comes and interprets the dream, and inside him accomplishing the dream of Pharaoh, which Pharaoh tells him now, This dream I've heard about it. I want you to implement it. For him being the implementer, his dream where his brothers were bowing down came there. Many times we have dreams, we have desires, but we have a notion that they will be achieved by God exclusively, outside other people. And that has caused a lot of unaccomplished dreams, a lot of unaccomplished needs. Elijah had a need of eating. And because God was faithful to feed his servants, he used the need of Elijah to meet the need of the Zarephath widow. At times, there are people who come to your life and it's like they're only taking. They're only taking. And when you look and you see, it's like they have no, when you analyze it, if the Zarephath woman was to analyze the matter, he would have seen, no, let me eat with my son, leave this man alone. How many of us have told our destiny helpers who we were supposed to feed, who we were supposed to help, that we don't have enough? It's a mystery. God can put us to our verge of blessing. The widow of Zarephath was in the verge of her provision. And her story is a story now that she has even a story where Elijah would heal the son. When we continue with the story, sometime later, that is verse 17, the son became sick. He grew worse and worse, and finally he died. Then she said to Elijah, "O man of God, what have you done to me? Have you come here to point out my sins and kill my son?" But Elijah replied, "Give me the son." And he took the child's body from her arms, carried him up the stairs to the room where he was staying, and laid the body on his bed. Then Elijah cried out to the Lord, "O Lord my God, why have you brought tragedy to this widow who has opened her home to me, causing her son to die?" And he stretched himself out over the child 3 times and cried out to the Lord, "O Lord God, my Lord, please let the child's life return to him." The Lord heard Elijah's prayer, and the life of the child returned, and he revived. Then Elijah brought him down from the upper room and gave him to his mother. "Look," and he said, "Your son is alive." Then the woman told Elijah, "Now I know that you are a man of God, and that the Lord truly speaks through you." One of the things, when you hear there's a statement that this woman was telling Elijah, that I want to cook, and after I finish cooking, we eat with my son and we die. So she had already spoken death to her son. There are situations we have spoken and killed. And for us to be able to get, somebody else has to speak, and that person has to get something from you. The woman had prepared herself. Let me cook, after that we die. So she had spoke death to her child. And we see in verse 17, the child becomes sick and he dies. How many things have you spoken in your life? They need you to come, relate with somebody, so that that person personally, because Elijah felt obligated to intervene. If Elijah was not fed by this woman, he would have assumed. But he felt that this woman had taken care of me. So it is my obligation to try. and resurrect this young man, this young son. There are doors that will open in your life with how you relate with people. There are Elijah's sent in your life. How do you relate with them? Their problem may not be your problem. Elijah just needed a place to sleep and eat. But because of that, he intervened. When you look at the book of Luke chapter number 4, the book of Luke chapter number 4, and I want us to see something that even God is speaking about this matter. Luke chapter number 4. And we find that the one thing about God is that God, Luke chapter number 4, verse 20, let us start from verse 25, verse 24. But I tell you the truth, no prophet is accepted in his own hometown. Rejection. Certainly, there are many needy widows in Israel in Elijah's time, when the heavens were closed for 3.5 years and a severe famine devastated the land. Yet Elijah was not sent to any of them. He was sent instead to a foreigner, a widow of Zarephath in the land of Sidon. And there were many lepers in Israel in the time of prophet Elisha, but the only one healed was Naaman, a Syrian. What is God telling you? There are many people with your need, and that person that has been sent in your life has been appointed to fulfill that need. There are people, if you ever, and I would tell you and I would give you a secret, if you ever know that there is somebody when he speaks to your situation, it changes, feed them. Never get tired to feed them. That's a lifeline. This woman understood that, and she continued feeding, and that's where her lifeline was found. I want to tell you today, there are people, if they don't even want to stay long without you doing something for them. They carry the answers to your life. God has a character of hiding your answers inside people and a person. God has that character. There are people, if they'll call you, and that's why serve people. Never get tired to serve them. If they call you, be available. There are certain people, they may not give you, but so long as you are available, doors open in your life. It's a mystery of people. I want to give you this counsel. Relate with people, understanding that God has a character of hiding inside people. May the Lord bless you, and I pray that you will understand. There are people, there is a shock there. There are people that have been sent, and that we are seeing in the book of Luke chapter number 4, where there were so many widows, but God, that one of Zarephath. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord watch over you. May the Lord guide you that you may be able to relate and to understand your Elijah and relate with him well. God bless you.